What's up guys, this is OneUX1 and I just heard a story about someone who'd given up on their UX design dream because they just got so frustrated with not being able to make a portfolio. And that's happened a few times before as well, where people are really eager to learn UX design, they really want to get into the job, and then when it comes to the portfolio, because it is quite a detailed piece of work and it can be quite stressful, and they just give up on it. And my advice, if you really want this and you want the enjoyment of the job, the pay, the benefits that come with this job, then why would you give up just because of the portfolio? The way to do the portfolio is to break it down. You're going to have 3 case studies. So you just start with one and you just do it piecemeal, bit by bit. Don't worry about all 3. Start with one, because once you've done the first one, it's going to help you replicate for the second and third one. So you don't want to give up your career because of a portfolio challenge that you're having to build it. So what the best thing you can do is to start with your first one. You're going to look at an intro. You're going to look at what it is that the users pain points were, what were the problems you're trying to solve, to describe the problem, describe what you did, what was your role, who did you work with, add lots of pictures of what you were doing. Now, even if it's a voluntary job or internship, you can still do that. And then start to show some of the user research you did, add pictures, add images of that so they can see that. And then you need to add in all like screenshots of the research that you did, the work that you did, and the wireframes that you started to sketch, ideate, and show those solutions that you offered. Then how did you work with the teams that you were working with? How did you share those insights from the user research, your wireframes with developers so they can build the product, they can code it, they can program it? You need to show all of that work. And then what did they do with it? What did they build? What was the MVP, minimum viable product? Show an image of that. Then show that you tested it with users, with usability testing. That's your whole life cycle. That's your whole UX design process. You have to show that in one case study. Now, once you've done that, which is quite challenging when you don't know how, it's easier to do that again 2 more times. You can vary the pictures, vary the descriptions obviously, but you've got the gist of what you need to do. So that's the way I'd say not to give up. So do it in little bits. So just worry about the user research one time, spend a few weeks if you have to on that, then a few weeks on the wireframing, as you're obviously learning wireframing as well. Then spend a few weeks on the next bit, which is how did you work on a minimum viable product, and discussions of the meetings. If it's remote, just show pictures of remote working, take pictures of that, and just show how you discussed that design, how it was built. Now, if you're a volunteer and you haven't got that much experience, then do the bits that you have done. So if you don't have everything, show whatever you can. Don't worry about it being perfect. There's such a shortage of UX designers that you can still get hired. If you've got great personality, they can still hire you on a junior level. So don't worry too much about that. The main thing is that you're driven, you understand the job, and you're willing to learn on the job, and that's what you really need. So when it comes to portfolios, you can use a step-by-step guide. I've got one down below, so download my UX portfolio guide. That will help you to build your UX design portfolio. And if you have any questions along the way on your portfolio, then drop me a question in the comments below. Subscribe and like so I can really help you. I also have lots of other videos on UX design careers and how to go through the UX design process. So please watch those videos. Now, the last thing about UX portfolios is the design aspect. I would say use Canva because they're great tools, really easy to design with. But it's got to look good. There's no point in making a black and white dull portfolio. So keep the design consistent, and the way to do that is to use the same font. Never use more than 2 fonts in your portfolio. It's not good practice. So 1 font or 2 fonts, keep it consistent in terms of the design. So no more than 3 colors in terms of the color scheme of your portfolio, and keep it with a layout that's easy to follow. So break it down into sections so you can group things together so it's not too busy. So images on this side, text on this side, then you can alter it on the next slide. You can have text on the left, image on the right. So keep it interesting, but keep it thematic. So keep it with a theme, keep it consistent, and that's what will attract somebody to be bothered to spend the time to read it. So think about it this way. Once you've done a draft, show it to your friends and colleagues and say, right, would you read this? Did you understand what I did? Did you understand the job that I did? Did you understand that I met my goals or not? Ask them these questions and they'll be able to advise you on whether your portfolio is good or not, what needs to improve, what needs to change. And that's what's going to really help you. So the more you can do that, the better it will become. And that's how to get your portfolio done so you don't break the dream of becoming a UX designer. And don't forget to ask for my help. So message me below and I'll see you again on the next one. This is 1UX1. Thank you guys.